rise for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the village board meeting of November 12th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Stacy.
Here.
Thierry.
Here.
Kraus.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Deachenko.
Here.
Weisbach.
Here.
In your packet, you have minutes from the last meeting of October 28th. Does anyone have any changes? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Stacy.
Yes.
Thierry.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Deachenko.
Yes.
Weisbach.
Yes.
Does anyone in the audience wish to address the board? Village clerk's report.
The tax income received in the month of October is $261,078.70. That's all I have.
Under my report, a few of us, me, Charity, and Trustee Beecher went to a Will County CED class. It's a economic development training for newly elected officials. I've gone to this almost every year. It's really, really a good thing. And it's not just for training for elected officials. It's a lot of information that you need to make decisions about your community. I encourage everybody to go to these when they come up. Usually they're held in Frankfurt. They were giving us an overview of how long it takes to get power in for some new developments, and some of these things it takes up to 55 months for large data centers. Yes, it's unbelievable the amount of time it takes to get some of the equipment in. Some of the minor stuff, the current lead time is 80 weeks, 70 weeks, 34 to 36 weeks, 130 weeks. This is for larger projects. For small projects, it's less, but they says, you know, and actually at the bottom of every page they have early engagement is crucial. Because they says as soon as you know a project is coming, it's up to the municipality to try to get easements to get this thing to come in, but if it's anything large, they have to know ahead of time. And they said there were 10 things for elected officials to know, and we went way long and we never even finished the training. But one of the things on that list was also knowing the impact you make. They says economic development is a legacy business. It's not something you're doing even for your time in office. It's a legacy business that affects the community for years to come. And they says knowing every decision you make makes changes down the road. One of the things they says have been communities that wanted solid brick commercial buildings, retail, commercial, industrial. And they says what happens is the municipalities around them see the development because it's too expensive for them to build in that town. So they says there's all kinds of stuff. When you make a decision, you have to make a decision for the long term, and you have to try to kind of look in your crystal ball and see how it's going to affect things down the road. So really good class. Did you want to add anything or? No, right? Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of information. They have speeches from ComEd. NICOR, which was interesting, they put up a map of places where they have, it doesn't show their specific where they have gas available, but they have places where things are a little bit short. And they had the whole area, and there were little spots where, like, there were little spots on the map that showed red, and it's like, well, if you're trying to put a project here, we just don't have as much capability to serve you. And even the guy from ComEd says, you're able to put that out? And he says, well, this isn't exact, this is just an illustration, but it was interesting information. They have DCEO give a little bit of a speech, and sometimes it goes long, but it's really good information. So anyway, I'm going to stop so I don't go as long as they did. That concludes my report. Village Commissions, 4th of July Commission, Trustee Kraus.
The next meeting is December 3rd, 6:30 p.m. here at Village Hall. That's all I have.
Okay. Youth Commission, Trustee Weisbach.
Only that the next meeting is November 19th here at Village Hall.
Okay. And Historic Preservation, Trustee Gardner.
Our meeting will be next Wednesday, the 20th at the depot at 6 p.m.
Alrighty. We are going to move up, since we have someone from the community here. We're going to move Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee up. So Trustee Gardner.
Thank you. Building Department monthly report is enclosed. Consider an ordinance granting a special use permit for 759 West Indian Avenue under the zoning ordinance of the Village of Beecher for a vape shop and a B1 historic downtown district. Do we have the ordinance number for that?
It's 1413.
I will make a motion to approve an ordinance granting a special use permit for 759 West Indiana Avenue under the zoning ordinance of the Village of Beecher for a tobacco store and vape shop in the historic B1 downtown district.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second, discussion?
Are these the same, I guess, considerations or restrictions for the one that was prior in here? The other permit?
The only difference was he was a strictly more of a tobacco shop and not a vape shop, and this is more of a vape shop. That was the only.
Yeah, so he specifically, yeah, he had come and told us that he was going to be more tobacco, so there was a limit on how much tobacco he had to sell when the guy on Dixie Highway did. This was not setting up as primarily a tobacco shop, so that was not put into the specifications for him, I believe.
So none of the, because the other one had certain restrictions on percentage of sales and all that stuff. So none of that's.
Yeah, so he did not. Because he's not requesting primarily, yeah.
That's all the other restrictions we put on them are also put on this one, except for the 50% tobacco sales.
Okay.
And
And
actually
also,
there,
he's getting a new sign.
yeah,
Do we have a
and I
time?
believe you said you sent something to our village administrator yesterday.
No, I just sent it 5 minutes ago.
Okay, okay, and he showed me a picture, so the sign is gonna change also.
Do we know when it's gonna be erected, or do we have a time frame on it?
Well,
For the sign.
I was waiting until the final approval here, but the sign company down in Bradley, they have it ready to go. I just have to call them tomorrow.
Oh, so you already submitted it to the village for approval? So he's waiting on us?
Yes, I did,
Yeah, I didn't get it. I don't
You still
know if
didn't
it's-
get it?
I'll check my junk mail.
um,
I knew we were.
I know I did show you.
Yeah, he just showed me a picture, and actually, if you, can you pull it up and just
Yes,
kind of walk
yes,
it around?
Let me.
Sorry, but-
No worries.
Low tech.
I mean, but it's within, I mean, I would like to see if he does have it, but it's within the parameters that, like, were set for signs, right? It adheres to the zoning ordinance? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's
if
actually,
if it's similar to the one that he gave us,
it's
sample of,
actually,
is it similar to that?
yeah, it's a little bit similar to what he has, but instead of just, vape shop on it, he's got his,
Technology.
I know, his logo and,
Yeah, I've seen it there, so I showed it to them.
Okay.
Some of the one he has at his other business.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
It's kind of a nice looking sign.
is that beeping
I'm
every time
sorry.
you show it to us?
Nice.
No, that's my alarm system at the shops.
Okay, that's the
I'm sorry, Marcy.
Is there another sign
Seen all our
replacing like the
faces.
sign that came down from the storm?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Is there a sign that, like a road sign from, that was blown down, the sign
That's
was-
up to
that
Dee,
blew up?
she owns the building, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was my sister's marquee, that small tornado blew it down
Mhm,
for the wind shear. So I don't think it's coming back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll take that up with her, because that's not his, that
No, I
belongs
just,
to,
that
yeah.
was just another question.
Yeah. Any other questions, discussion? Roll call?
Weisbach,
Yes.
Diachenko,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Thank you, Marcy.
You're good to go.
Thank you, Mark. And board, thank you.
Thank you all, have a good evening.
Thank you, have a good one. Let's go back up to the beginning and then come back to this rather than get right into the moratorium and all that stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, back to page 1. Finance admin, is this too tough?
Go back to the drive.
Get to the drive-through.
Call it.
Finance and Administration Committee, Trustee Cross.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, Donna?
Sure.
Sure, so the total for the village accounts for the month of October is $7,405,582.57. The October total for the commission accounts, $250,064.10. The two combined, $7,655,646.67. The month end in general, $2,061,083.69. And the October commission and non-AP payments totaled $339,065.79. And other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. If there are no questions, that would end my report.
I'll make a motion approving the treasurer's report.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, roll call?
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Diachenko,
Yes.
Weisman.
Yes.
Variance reports are enclosed for your review. I'd like to consider, make a motion approving the list of bills and payroll in the amount of $148,534.81.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Weisman,
Yes.
Diachenko.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy.
And that's all I have.
All right, Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation Committee, trustee Jachenko.
Yeah, quick update on the holiday celebration, creative lights and the tree lighting. Our next meeting is scheduled for November 25th to just make sure everything's finalized, ready to go. Informational pages were put out on the social media pages for the celebration, the parade of lights during the celebration, and then also the Christmas tree decoration contest. So that's it for the Christmas tree lighting. I'd also like to consider a motion to approve executing a small project agreement with Definitive Resources Incorporated in the amount of $129,545.13 for a surveillance system at the new public safety facility.
And this was separate from the original
Yes.
bid. There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Stacy.
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Diachenko.
Yes.
Weisman.
Yes.
All right, that concludes my report.
All right, back to planning, building and zoning, trustee Gardner.
All right, discuss moratorium for building permit fees.
So these are expiring December 31st right now, correct? Yeah. And as of right now, I do not believe we are meeting our costs for how they have gone up. So this is,
And can you say, in conjunction with that, and that obviously the next thing was adjusting fees, but,
Well, the fee adjustment's just for the pass-through, right? That's not actually,
yes,
or at least this schedule is the adjustment for the pass-through.
yes.
But what,
And this isn't something we even have to like complete tonight, but
no, but the decision the board needs to make is whether we're gonna, like, add the water tapping fees, the park impact fees, stuff like that is what the board needs to consider and decide. We either keep it at zero, which is pretty much what everything's gonna pass through right now, or add some of those impact fees back in. I think when we met last time, we did discuss putting some of them back in, but maybe not full what we had before. Is that where where do we end up? Were we trying to come up with numbers to see, like, because I know we looked at some of these numbers and, like, where did, like,
I know, where did this
Yeah.
come
what,
from?
what,
What is it
what
even?
cloud did they just pop out of?
Yeah.
yeah, I actually looked, I was unable to find exactly where
Where the tip came from?
specifically, but I mean, I looked at like other communities and some of them based them off of like, was it, like volume, with your sewer, and then with, water was like gallons per day that would be used. Obviously, obviously, those sewer, tap-ons and water tap-ons are supposed to help with, new development, obviously, and, providing the service, so.
Can I say something? I think those fees were initiated at that amount at that time, because that was when the big building boom was going on in town, and we were having trouble handling all the permits and the inspections and all those kind of things, and we could demand those kind of fees a little bit more easily before the economy dumped. So those go way back, so things are definitely different now.
So is there?
And some of these, I know we were looking through some of the ordinances, and there were some of these things that were based on a land value of like $40,000 an acre, which it's not.
Yeah.
I wish.
And again, that was back in the big building boom, so that definitely is no longer the case, so even where those numbers were based are not accurate.
So is there a way without, I guess, getting too deep in the weeds to sort of figure out maybe what our costs are with either, sewer impact, parks, admin, time and costs that it takes to do all this stuff to try to come up with some sort of schedule, or, actually it doesn't have to be scheduled, I think it's just one fee for like residential's, like, where's your fee, it is what it is, you build a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, there's not a ton of variation where someone's building a 4,000 square foot house and someone else is building a 1,500 square foot house, they're generally all the same square footage, footprint, all that, so just, I'm just thinking like one fee for everything I think would be easiest, and then you're not trying to look stuff up and explain stuff, and then you have to give this to the builder, and well, this applies here, that applies there, and all that.
And then we're
Yeah,
doing
we'll
it
work on that.
Yeah,
And I know, obviously the water meter is included in that fee too, so, I know those aren't extremely expensive, but commercial ones cost a bit more.
yeah, and we still need to have our costs covered. Yeah, because some of these going between 2 and 3 and 4 bedroom houses, so if it's a ranch, or if you're gonna have a 2-story, it's got kind of the same footprint on the ground, it doesn't,
Yeah, and the sidewalk in front of a ranch or 2 stories the same, to turn on the water is the same, there's not a lot of difference in some of this stuff, so.
And usage for a family, you're gonna make that up on the water bills, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably send that one more out and have some for you.
All right. Consider a motion directing the village attorney to draft an ordinance updating the schedule for permit fees.
The really biggest change, and actually, the new construction, you'll see that it's the $17.50, because that's what we have it at right now, will actually be a little bit cheaper. I think I figured it up, it'd be like $700 for a 2,000 square foot home or something. But their biggest change that they, Safeville had suggested making, because currently they don't charge for plan review, but that does take quite a bit of time on the new residential, so that's an added fee in the back. Some of the, let's see, the flat fees, so yeah, new construction, an accessory structure or commercial, used to be based off of $150 minimum fee, and so I guess that went up. I apologize, I have a hard time seeing. I should have printed this a little bit bigger in my glasses, I can't see it.
And then dark color.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly, yeah. On the screen, it looks so much better. Yeah, it used to be 24 cents with a minimum fee of $150 for commercial. That'll go up to 60 cents per square foot with a minimum fee of $250. And I guess we'll go back to residential, because that's usually, probably in effect for most people. That's going from 22 cents to 50 cents per square foot, with a minimum fee of $300 as opposed to $125. And these can be adjusted. But we did meet, I know we had a committee meeting, and we looked at the fees, and I think everybody felt like they were.
Well, they
I
weren't
can
what
do
they
another-
are.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, the biggest thing was just that we don't do the plan review, and that's $95 per hour.
Yeah.
So we're adding that in as a new thing. Everything else is just an increase.
Yeah, because that we're just taking a hit on at the moment.
Right.
Then to be clear, we're basically not upcharging on this, these are pass-throughs, the village isn't charging anything extra.
Right.
Like,
Correct.
you could, like, some towns add, like it says here, 10% fee or whatever, just 20%, we're not doing that, like,
No,
whatever the-
currently there is an admin fee. We had actually talked about.
Yeah.
Taking that out, or,
Well, it says none here, so are we voting on that?
well, we don't have any now because of the moratorium. So that 10%, that was just for that particular new construction.
We got rid of all that, so I'm saying now we're not charging anything.
Right.
Like I said, now we're actually probably taking a little bit of a loss
Yeah.
on plan review and things that we can't raise the price because of the moratorium. So that's what, even depending on what we want to do with the moratorium, at a minimum, we've got to be able to cover our costs. So,
Yes.
you know, that at a minimum has to change when we discuss that.
No, there is an admin fee for, so not new construction because it's flat $17.50, but like for additions, for, you know.
Checks to expenses.
Yeah. So this was just to, have the, get an ordinance drafted with changes. I mean, if you want more time to look at the fees, if you want me to break it down a little bit more, give you an example of, what the fees would be for all of these different things, how much it's gonna go up for everything, I can do that and have that at the next meeting too.
Well, these are their fees that are coming up, so if we don't create a new ordinance and approve these fees, we're gonna be eating all this, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say sooner than late, I mean, when are their changes going into effect?
Well, they're waiting for us to pass an ordinance, so.
All right, so did you want to?
Yep, I'll make a motion directing the village attorney to draft an ordinance updating the schedule for permit fees.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion? Roll call?
Weisbaum,
Yes.
Beechenko.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Stacy.
Who's my report?
All right, Public Safety Committee, trustee Terry.
Thank you, Mayor. The police department monthly reports enclosed for your review. Sergeant Court, anything you want to add on? The EMA monthly report is enclosed. Director Hyman, anything like that?
No, I'm good.
The code enforcement is also included. One thing I did want to add is that Beecher Blessings is going to be out collecting, looking for donations. It's going to be Saturday from 6 a.m. till noon. We'll be by the Dunkin' Donuts, and depending on the volunteers, maybe sporadically placing throughout the plaza. If anybody's got free time, to come help collect. We'll be out there. Fire department, 6 a.m. Yeah. The fire department, EMA, and the police department are all hands on deck. So I'm volunteering out there. So.
You're looking for an afternoon shift more?
It's like 3-ish now. All right,
And that concludes my report.
Public Works Committee, trustee Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works monthly report is enclosed. The wastewater treatment plant monthly report is enclosed for review. Results of the leaf machines and the lawnmower bids will be provided by the superintendent.
So we had 2 lawnmowers go up for bid, as well as the old 94 leaf machine. Surprisingly, we had 5 bids on the leaf machine, and it ended up going for $3,817. The John Deere mower had 11 bids, and the high bid on that was $1,007. And the 2010 Toro mower had 7 bids with a high bid of $900. So all 3 pieces of equipment have been paid for, and I'm just waiting pickup on the leaf machine, which should take place this Friday. But the people have paid that off, so
Nice.
good there. All that money will go back into the capital equipment sinking fund for future equipment purchases.
Excellent.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Development Community Relations Committee, trustee Weisbond.
Just a quick update on the holiday lights decorating contest. The entry form is now available. Forms are due on December 6th, and judging will take place after 5 PM on the 7th or the 8th of December. That's all I have.
So make sure you have your lights on and everything set up on those 2 days, just in case. I think, some of the judges had mentioned, I think one of the days last year, there were a couple of houses that did not have the lights on, things that happened, and had to go back a second time. But anyway, that stuff happens, but. Alrighty, do we have any old business to come before the board? I don't think we need executive session this week.
How you looking at that?
Can hardly.
Or
do
I thought
we?
maybe we did, but
Okay,
yeah, just a quick one.
alright, would someone like to make a motion to go into, hang on, let me get my cheat sheet. And this is probably gonna be,
The hiring, the motion, whatever.
okay, so would someone like to make a motion to go into executive session for appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees?
So moved.
Was that a motion and a second?
Second.
Okay,
I'm not sure what you said.
roll call.
Stacy?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.